All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you for joining me here today, the middle of the day, Sunday, the end of the 4th of July weekend, and we've got a little bit of news that's coming out. Something that, if you remember, a week or two ago, we did our 53-man roster predictions for the Detroit Lions. I predicted that John Cominski would be in a little trouble to make the Detroit Lions team. Doesn't mean I'm not rooting for him. I think he's a heck of a player, and you know what? He does seem to be a prototypical Lion. But we do have some news that came out a little bit ago from the Sporting News, and Mike Moratis, the longtime reporter for them, came out and hit us with this that, hey, John Cominski might be on the wrong side of this deal, more than we all thought. So he's not quoting any sources within the team, but he is speculating, and he does give some kind of thoughts behind the growing fact that the Detroit Lions have a lot of depth on this team. And I know we've talked about this to death with this team, with everything on the team, the offense, the defense, the special teams. There's guys all over the spot. It's going to be tough to make this roster. We also seem to get that John Cominski, while the prototypical Lion, somebody we're all rooting for, might be on the wrong side of this. If you get an opportunity today, go on over to the Sporting News and check out Mike's story. He does a pretty good job of detailing the strengths, weaknesses, the hurdles that that the Detroit Lions and John Cominski are going to be facing during training camp. He does point out, hey, Lions have Super Bowl aspirations, and there are going to be a lot of guys cut, whether it's Kaminsky or somebody in the secondary or any other spot on this team that other teams are going to be salivating over getting. Kaminsky, 28-year-old, former fourth-round pick. We all get it. His first year, he came in, guns a-blazing, really helped this team take it to another level as they ended the season after starting 1-6, got to 9-8, nearly made the playoffs if it wasn't for the Rams losing to the Seattle Seahawks. But Kaminsky, as we also know, it did not have the most stellar of seasons just a season prior. He does, Sporting News, Mike Moratis does a great job of breaking down his 53-man roster predictions, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, etc. Goes through the whole shebang-a-bang, and he puts out there that he thinks Kaminsky also corroborated some of this on his story with Pro Football Network's Anthony Bodino. Thinks that it's conceivable the Lions could trade this edge rusher, maybe somebody else, to try to acquire maybe a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick from teams that are perhaps a little bit more needy. I don't personally want to see Kaminsky go, but you can only keep 53. I don't think he's going to last very long if you put him on the practice squad. I only got a couple minutes on this, but let's see what you guys have to say about it. Thomas, hope not. Me too, man. I really like the guy. I hope he's able to stick around, but we'll see if Kaminsky can ultimately make the final cut there. It's going to be tough for him, I think. So, but hey, somebody's got to stay. Somebody's got to go. I'm Moonscar. Morning, Dan and crew. Morning to you too. Hopefully you're enjoying your trip, Moonscar. No-town greetings, salutations, coach, dude, crew. Lions rule, Bears still drool. Fair enough. You know, somebody in the morning show asked if I ever did like auctioning. No, I don't. I'm just trying to compress as much information as I can, as quickly as I can before I got to get out of here to get back to work. Mr. Nico, let's get that chip. Dynasty or bust? Yes, let's get the championship 100%. Mr. Nico, good to see you, man. It's been a minute, so hopefully you're doing well. Moonscar, you are interpreting me catching up on this morning's episode. You are interrupting, excuse me. Catching up on this morning's episode. My bad, man. I got to remember, you're probably only around 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock your time. Casey, still enjoying the Lions news and finishing leftover 4th of July hot dogs, brats, and coolers of beers. Well, enjoy it, Casey. Hey, we all know 4th of July is a heck of a weekend, and just the fact that it happened on a Thursday, you know, some people, not me, but some people even had the Friday off, so we had an extended weekend. Let's see, Motown, JC is nice, but writing is on the wall. If you can get something for someone you know you're going to cut, might as well do so. And that's probably what's going to happen with a couple of guys. I'm anticipating Motown, whether it's Kaminsky or maybe Emmanuel Mosley or, gosh, I don't know, maybe Gilmore or somebody else. Instead of just flat out cutting him, you might trade him to another team for a conditional 6th or 7th or whatever it is. Mr. Nico, same Moonscar Blade, 100%. JK Kamish, yes. I'm hoping he stays and makes it, but it also means somebody else doesn't. So it's going to be a tough spot for the Lions. Let's face it, this coaching staff is going to face some real difficult decisions what happens with them, with this team. Moonscar, Casey, when you run out, let me know. I have plenty left over to get through myself. Could use the help. There you go. All right, guys, I'll get out of here. I'm not going to keep it up for a long time. Oh, I guess there's more comments than I thought. So my bad. Hold on here. Where did I leave off here? My bad, my bad. Network problems. All right, nope. Kamish, you don't. Moonscar, yep. All right, Kamish. All right, Kamish would be a seventh. Anything higher would be another Brad Holmes villain steal. I would go with that 100%. 100%. Casey, Moonscar Blade laughing out loud. I've had my fill of Coors Banquet and hot dogs for a year. Well, enjoy it. Let's see. Weston Line needs to pick it up this season or he'll be replaced. Yeah, and his first year, I think we all agree, heck of a year. Second year, it wasn't as great. Moonscar Casey, I'm north of Denver right now. You sure you don't want me to bring some Mile High back to you? There you go. Hey, very kind of you. Chrome, what up, Dan? Not too much, Chrome. Good to see you. It's been a minute to see you too, but season will soon be here. Scott, what do you got? John Cominski, more for Judon. One can hope. That's an interesting thought, Scott. Could they trade someone like Kaminsky for Matthew Judon to New England Patriots and probably something else? It's possible for sure. I just think if you acquire Judon from New England, man, you're going into the same problem. You're going to have to make some cuts. What are you also willing to give up for that trade? I think the Lions, because they've already traded their third and fourth, and I don't have any inside information on this, just pure speculation on my part. I think they're going to be pretty reluctant to give up much more draft capital, but I could see them trying to, maybe a couple of guys they know they're going to cut, try to get something for them just to try to replenish some of that capital they've given up. Detroit man, fan man, keep hearing Wingo has defensive tackle, defensive end versatility. How much defensive end can we really expect to see him play? 30% of the snaps? I'd say that's a fair account there, Detroit fan man, because you're also going to see, in my opinion, you're also going to see on some downs Campbell get out there, Jack Campbell play out on the edge at times. He did it last year. I thought throughout the season you could see noticeable growth and development. We all know you got James Houston. You've got a lot of flexibility, which this coaching staff wants. They want guys that can move all around the board, and I think you're going to have more and more of those type of players. Kamish, hey, let's face it, he plays end. He does play on passing downs inside as a defensive tackle, so he does also have versatility. Just hope he can really – it's going to be a dogfight for a lot of different spots on this team. I'm hoping he can make it, but again, he makes it. Somebody else has got to go. We just got to see where Davenport is at health-wise to see what we got for a starter out there on the right. Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of questions that we have right now. Hey, by the time we get to the final cuts on the 53-man roster, those are all going to be answered out. So anyways, hope you all have a great one. If there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll try to get over to you guys as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you want to check out the story in its full, go to Sporting News, and you can find it there. Mike Morales, along with Pro Football Folks, Anthony Bedine are the writers for it, so go check it out. I'm sure there'll be some other information like this coming out in the upcoming weeks. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Also, if you could, hit that thumbs up button. Hey, hope we don't see Kaminsky go, but it might just happen. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your days. See you guys.